Well, hi, everybody. This is DearMamaSal, and we are live on a Friday evening, which means it's time for us to talk about coping with life. And in particular, on a Friday evening, what I like to do is try and cook something pretty simple that anybody can make if they want to. But also, I work on trying to give you other hints on how you might save money in the kitchen. We're all on a very tight budget, some of us more than others. And so, therefore, it doesn't mean we have to eat badly. It means you have to plan a bit, take advantage of any sales that are going on. Even I find that I buy things on a sale that I don't necessarily need right now, but I know I will use it up within the next few months, and that to me is worth it. And I've saved a whole lot of money doing that. As you will know, I buy things in bulk rather than little packages. And one of the things that I bought in bulk, hi, it's good to see you, and Jody. One of the things I bought in bulk probably at the time of the pandemic was a whole lot of cranberries. I don't know if any of you guys remember that. But the interesting thing is that I think I bought a couple of pounds at the beginning of the pandemic, and that's what I got left. So, in case we've forgotten, the good news about cranberries, and it's important that you know this, really good for your um, immune system. All right. So try and incorporate cranberries into your smoothies, into anything you can. That's why I'm going to bake them into a cake. They maintain your heart health. I'm certain you remember that. They relax muscle cramps. If you're of an age where you still get muscle cramps, good idea to munch on a few of these. If you've got trouble in the bathroom, they help. They fortify your bones, which is important for me because I'm on a medication that will actually diminish uh, the strength of my bones. They're very likely to give me osteoporosis. So, very good reason for this. Perhaps most important, the reason I know so much about it is because of something that Jody taught me, which was they combat urinary tract infections. I have a number of viewers that have UTIs, urinary tract infections, and you know how painful they can be. And it's really important to make sure you maintain that is a healthy system. So eat some cranberries. And then also, if you are a little bit low in iron, as in anemia, cranberries are good for that as well. So that's why we're going to bake the cake with cranberries and lemon. Now, you all hopefully by now, every time I mention lemon, know that that's about fighting inflammation. Lemon is really good as an antibiotic, not antibiotic, but an anti-inflammatory. Did I get that right, Jody? Jody's our expert on all these things. So I'm not going to do a perfect recipe because you guys who are regulars know me better. I want to hack some things together to use up some stuff inside my kitchen because really we're just baking a cake and it's not the end of the world. Now, I'm not a baker of cakes. You know that. For those who've been watching the broadcast, when did you ever see me bake a cake? All right, so you've seen me do muffins occasionally because I eat those, but very rarely do I do a cake. So why am I doing a cake? Good question. And the answer is because I want to use up the cranberries, and also because the recipe sounded really tasty. I don't mind telling you that. And then the third reason is I've got Yvonne and Wade coming tomorrow, and I thought it'd be really nice to make little mini cakes for them for dessert. So we'll see how that goes. All right. So now the first thing is I'm actually going to measure. I know this is going to frighten some of you, but baking is the one time it's a really good idea to measure. So I've even got to read instructions, which you know is very difficult for me. So here we go. First of all, they said to heat up the oven. Now I'm using my air fryer, and that's going to mess everything up because this recipe is made for a regular oven that size, and we're going to cook in an oven that size. And I think that the amount of time it will take is about half. That's my guess. Big experiment, people. I've never cooked a cake in there. And you know that's what excited me as well. I like experiments. How long does it take to bake a cake in there? But it also depends on how we do it. I could make it out of one of these things, a bundt pan. That's what a bundt pan looks like. Could make it in one of those and it would look really pretty, right? I nearly did that. I nearly said, okay, that's what I'm going to use. And then I had to think logically. After you have fed your guests tomorrow, how much will be left? And the answer was probably at least half. And how easy is it to cut these type slices into small slices? Not very, which means when I go to cut up what's left, I'm going to eat more than I want to. Now, does that logic make sense to anybody? So what I decided was that I'm going to bake it in here, all right? And then I probably will end up using a third at most, but then what is left, it'll be easier to cut it into decent size things. You will notice the eggs are already out because it called for room temperature eggs. Did it call for any milk? No. Really weird. No milk. We'll go through it. Maybe it'll say add the milk and so, in which case I'll say I was wrong. So it starts off saying make sure that all the ingredients are room temperature. Done. Oh no, not all the ingredients. By the time it all mixes together, this will be at room temperature as well. Because I'm going to make some substitutions. Love this stuff. Will it get... It'll get warmer more quickly if I put it in a bowl. And whatever I don't use, I can eat later on. So, there we go. Plenty. Oh. This is stirred probiotics. Good for your stomach. All right, here we go. Right, this cake will make a standard bundt pan. We talked about that. Not going to do that. Preheat the oven to 180 in Celsius, talking people. I've done it to 350 in those that speak Fahrenheit. In a bowl, mix together. All right, first thing, making a cake, for some reason, which is very technical, they ask that you mix the wet things on one side and the dry things on the other. So just remember that. The other thing is they nearly always tell you to sift the flour. They will tell you that it's because it helps keep it light. I believe it's to make sure that you got rid of any weevils that could have been in there, but that could be just in my day. So what are we going to do here? In a bowl, mix together the flour. How much flour? 3 cups all-purpose flour. Okay, which I buy in 10-pound bags. So 3 cups. Oh, we'll have a cup now. That's technical, people. Hang on. I hope you're all laughing because you know this goes against my grain. Okay. It didn't say to sift it, but I'm in a habit of doing that. So let me do that. That's 1. Could take forever. Dum 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 dum. Come on now. I'll get bored. Then it won't get sifted. One. Oh, it's great fun. It's like mud pies. It makes a mess. We like that. 2. Come on. I used to have one of those. Yeah, never mind. Don't know where that went. It's probably in the back shed. This gets more exciting in a moment, people. Okay, 2 and 1 more. Then the boring stuff is done. I hope. Now you probably see I'm sort of pushing the flour against the edge of the container here to sort of level off the cup. Did you see that? Just as, yeah. Thing that smart people do. Not, I don't normally do it, but you know me, I normally do. This is about a cup, but we're baking. It's different. Yes. Okay, I've got flour everywhere. This brings me to my next point. One of the greatest utensils I ever got for my kitchen was this. I really have to tell you that. Before I get it everywhere, it's made to go in the car, but I use it for in my kitchen. And I use it every day, at least 2 or 3 times. Okay, here we go. Done. Done. Won't need it again. Get it out of the way. Done. Oh, we will need it. One more thing. Ah, yeah, good point. One thing that they, Jody's asking me, does that measuring cup feel weird in your hand? Very. You know that. So hang on a second. This is the container we're going to use. And I've got some butter flavored spray. So we're just going to spray that inside. And this is hopefully to stop it sticking. So in case it comes over the top. So we've now got all the bottom and sides buttered. And then we're just going to take a bit of the flour in there and good exercise, people. Come on, you know that it's going to stick right there if I don't do it properly, right? Okay, that'll do. Do any of you do this? Or is it just me? It's just because I make such a mess, you know that. You've watched me cook. By the way, there is some on the floor, which means my floor will be extra slippery. If you see me go down, just check if I'm okay. I'll answer you. And if I say no, call somebody who cares. Great. So 3 cups of flour, done. What else do we put in here? The salt. Okay, how much salt do they want? Half a teaspoon. Do you have to put salt in? Isabel's laughing. She's wondering who they might call. I'm just going to put a little tad, just for the little taste. And it's the Himalaya pink salt, just because I like the color. And then, what else do they want? Baking soda, otherwise known as bicarb. Okay, here we go. Bought it in bulk a long time ago. Don't use it very often. Still in the original package from the store. So half a teaspoon is what we could also call, a pinch, just over. So I think what I had in my hand was a full teaspoon. Okay, that's all we need. So mix together. Yum, yum. How am I doing? Mix together? It's going to get mixed a whole lot more in a minute. Does anybody else tilt the bowl when you mix things? So, yeah, I don't know when I started doing that, but I did. All right, done. Back dinner, done. Now this is where we're going to get really creative. It's what I call the sal part here, because what it called for, in another bowl, add the butter. Now, I'm not big into cooking with butter anymore, so the question was, can I use something else? How much butter does it call for? 1 cup of butter. All right, here we go. Let's see how smart we all are. What can we put in a cake other than butter that will do the same job as butter? There are all sorts of options. Dum, 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 dum. Waiting for the smart ones to get back to me on this one. Applesauce is one, Jody. Anybody else? Yogurt is 2, Jody. Well done. Very impressive. Did you know you can put avocado in instead of butter, because it is in itself a butter? Did you know that you could put in mashed bananas instead of Greek yogurt we talked about? Did you know you could put in nut butters? And I'm thinking, I've got this this sort of stuff in and it needs to be used. Do you think I would ruin a cake putting in some of this? And part of me goes, who cares? Shall we try it? I love the taste of that stuff, but and don't have it very often, as you can. Yeah, I agree. Yum is what I thought as well. Or do I put it over the top? What if I mix this? What if I mix this with like some cream cheese frosting together? I wonder, which do you think would be better? Yeah, mixed with cream cheese. Jody agrees with you. Okay, Jody, but remind me to do that. Okay. All right. So here we go. So we can use applesauce, and it called for how much a cup? Dum 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 dum. 1 cup of butter. So this is half a cup, and I do have 2. So. And this is unsweetened, so we like that too. Huh? Is anybody as scared as I am? I hope you're laughing, because I am. Okay, so 1 cup of butter, otherwise known as applesauce. Now, the good news is applesauce significantly reduces both the calorie and the fat content. Oh, Jody's giving me another idea. She's saying that Biscoff stuff and cream cheese together would be great on a bagel. I actually have bagels. I bought them this week, Jody. I never buy bagels. And if we believed in coincidences, That would be interesting. But this week I treated myself because it was Easter to some cinnamon raisin bagels. Well, last week, as you can tell, I've been working my way down. Okay, next thing. Butter. To this, add the sugar. All right, now it calls for 600 grams of sugar. What do you think? Is sugar essential to the cake? I've got a mix of I try not to put sugar in anything. So, right, I've got a mix of brown sugar and stevia, and we know stevia is very potent. I am not putting 3 cups of that in for sure. I'm going to put some in, just because they asked for some. I probably put in 3/4 of a cup. If it tastes like you know what, I'm okay with it. Okay, and then what's the next thing? Large bowl, flour, salt, and baking soda we've done. To that, add the sugar. Okay, we've done that, so we're going to mix that up. It looks quite tasty, doesn't it? Obviously, the brown sugar will take a while to do its thing. Okay, quite exciting for me. Okay. That's good. All right, that's it. Done that. And then beat it for another 1 to 2 minutes until the butter and sugar mixture looks very pale. Well, we know we haven't obeyed any of their instructions on this side, so we don't really give a monkey's uncle here. Okay, page 2, people. We're nearly there. Oh, another hint. I keep everything that I only print one side on. Right? Print something on the printer and, it's something you just need for today, and then you throw the piece of paper away. I don't. I keep mine. I turn them upside down and feed them back into my printer. How much money do I save? Okay, page 2. Here we go. Are you ready? Listen up now. Break your eggs into a separate bowl. Now, they're calling for 6 eggs. That's a lot of eggs. And I know they're going to ask me to put them in one at a time. That sounds like hard work to me. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we can do it that way. Now, it's actually not a bad idea to crack the eggs one at a time, just to make sure that doesn't matter if they break, do it? It's going to be cake, for goodness sake. No problem at all. So there's part of me that says, why can't I just whip all the eggs up together and then drizzle them in bit by bit? That would be a Sal trick. Let's do it their way as far as we can. You want to see the one-handed thing again? Remember? On a flat surface and then break it. 1. Oh. That's 1. 2. 3. I'm purposely not worrying about breaking them. I can do it without breaking them. 4. But I can break them because they're all going to be whipped up anyway. 5. And the last one. 6. Very messy. Okay, what did it say? Break the eggs in a separate bowl. Add the eggs one at a time. I've got a feeling that I needed yogurt for this. Why did we use the yogurt? Oh, I was going to use the yogurt instead of the applesauce, I think, because it was one of the options. Never mind, I know what I'm having for dessert. Okay, so, oh no, I know what I'm having for dessert. So, bake the eggs into a separate bowl, add the eggs one at a time. Break your eggs into a separate bowl, add the eggs one at a time, whisk it well. Why did I do this if I got to whisk it well? I should have finished reading the instructions. Story of my life, but it makes it exciting. Okay, we can do it the way I thought I was going to do it. 1, 2, 3. That made sense to me. Oh, a bit of shell. Can't believe I did that. Hang on, people. I think a bit of shell escaped me. There it is. And the best thing to get hold of a bit of shell is a piece of shell. Did you know that? There it is. Bye-bye. Any others in there? That makes sense. Okay. Oh, there it is. Another bit. All right, so one more. Let's show it. One more. So that's interesting. That's 2 eggs per cup of flour. How about that? All right, whisk it up. I could use one of my gizmos, but hey, let's do it the old-fashioned way. I like to turn the bowl and tilt it, and that way you're pretty sure you've incorporated most of it. Not brilliant, but there's more coming. All right, so what do we do after that? Oh, exciting. Add the vanilla essence. Vanilla essence. How much? 1.5 teaspoons. Okay, so I like to use the lid as 1.5. Okay, the vanilla. That's tasty. Anything else? Don't get wet. I've got things to read. Okay, and then speak to me, people. Oh, lemon zest. We've got that. And lemon juice. How much lemon zest do they want? 1 tablespoon. That's a lot. Hold on. I know it's here somewhere. What did I do with it, people? I've got a double-decker thing. I didn't put it out already, did I? There's the lemon. Oh, well, we could do it the other way. Where's my lemon zest? That is weird. And I can't remember taking it out, which makes me think, way weird. All right, now the reason I'm taking some time is because 2 things. Number 1, I already have lemon zest that I have dried. All right. Hi, Nasha. Good to see you. And who else? Jeannie. Hi, Jeannie. Okay, so let's do it a different way. I'm just going to, what did it say? 1.5 teaspoons, right? So basically, I'm just going to grate off the very edge of the lemon. All right. Don't want the white of it. You just want the yellow of it. And I reckon that would be, by the way, it's actually, I don't know if you can see how finely it is grating it. Can you see that? Perfect. So I'm doing it very gently, not a lot of pressure. I reckon that a lemon is about 1.5. If it's a bit more lemony, who cares? All the more tasty, in my view. I'm double checking how much lemon. 1 tablespoon. Yeah, probably there. Okay. Mix that in. Don't want to waste the goodness here. And I did clean that all off before I started. Okay, here we go. So what else do we need after that? H2P. All right, so, and we need how much lemon? I think a tablespoon. Yeah, no. 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. That's a lot, right? Jody, would you say that a lemon is 3 tablespoons? I mean, the total contents of a lemon? We'll find out. I've got a feeling it would be about right. So let's put that in a bowl until we get confirmation of that. Cut that in half. Now, 2 to 3. Okay. So we're thinking this is a fairly decent sized lemon. No problem, Joe. Thanks. All right. So let's see. I'm going to. This lemon should be very juicy because I bought it in bulk and kept it in the freezer. Right. I bought 3 or 4 at a time and then just put them whole into the freezer. So whenever I have anything that calls for lemon, I just pull out one of the frozen ones. And what I found is they are incredibly juicy. Much more so than if you do this when they are fresh. I'm certain somebody will know why. There must be something about freezing them that releases the liquid. I'm hoping I haven't got any open sores anywhere, and I don't want to put that onto my countertop. Well, it's lemon, it's acid. Okay, here we go. I've got a feeling this is more than 3 tablespoons myself, but we're about to find out. In case you think that I don't have them, I actually do. I know I don't use them very often. Okay, thanks, Jody. Jody has done the research. She's so good at this stuff. Freezing and thawing weakens the cell walls, allowing the lemon to release more juice. So you're saying the average lemon has 2 to 3 tablespoons of juice. Let's see how much we got. How much did I need? 3. I reckon that's about 3. One, 2, 3. I've still got another one left. How about that? Ah, look at that. Yep, I've still got another one more, over another whole one left. Tonight's smoothie. Okay, here we go. Da, 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 da. Mix that in. Probably not meant to mix the lemon in with the egg, but what the heck. Okay, so now we've done that bit. Add to the wet mixture, add the dry mixture. Sort of 1/3 at a time. I've done it the wrong way around, people. Oh, hang on a second. This is the wet mixture. Hang on. So we can put that in there. That's really the wet mixture, isn't it? All of that. Oh, so exciting. Mix that up. And where it says, pour the mixture, no, forget it. To the wet mixture, add 1/3 of the dry mixture. I'm not measuring that, people. You can forget that. Definitely not measuring. It's called huck in about 1/3. Okay, I can do this. Yeah, after it. Whisk until it's about 50% incorporated. What would you say? About 50%? I would say that. Okay, now what? Huh? You remember I said about the sour cream? Here it comes, people. To this, add half the sour cream. Well, how much sour cream? Why did I not see sour cream? 1 cup of sour cream. So half a cup we know is one of these. Very exciting now. I knew sour cream came into it somewhere. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Take about half a cup. I keep wanting to taste it, and then I remember other people are going to eat this, so I can't taste it. Very hard for me, as you know. I don't mind doing it when I'm the only one going to eat something. Okay. And so then keep whisking it. I'm not whisking it, but stirring it until it's incorporated, right? Got that? So just pulling the dry stuff off the sides here. Okay, here we go. So now we do the same thing again. Add a third of the flour. And mix it all in. Got to admit that a box of cake mix is a lot quicker, but it won't be the same. Looks a bit lumpy now. Don't like that. Oh, I have an answer to that. Not a problem. Okay. Put a second. Okay, so then again, the last lot of the flour. And 1, 2. Need more yogurt. Oh, I've been putting in yogurt, not sour cream. I'm going with it. Either will do, I'm sure. This will be a bit more vanilla-y. Okay, there we go. Not using that anymore. That really does not mix in easily. I've got to say that. But it's an experiment. Now, I'm pretty certain that I've got cake making people here. This looks a little solid to me for, this is okay for muffins, but for a cake, does that look a little bit like it needs some liquid in it? Okay. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it into my machine and mix it up properly and see whether that changes the consistency. See if it does. I'm just concerned that this looks to me, you see this? This looks like, doesn't look cake consistency to me. And we still have to add dried cranberries, which are going to take even more of the moisture out. Not happy on this. I think plan B. The worst thing that can happen is I won't serve it tomorrow, right? So I can do what I like with it. Okay, Jody didn't get back to me on that one. I'm putting in half a cup of liquid because I'm not convinced this is good. There we go. Okay. And if it ruins it, I am to blame. Okay, let me mix that up. I'm a happier camper. Now, this to me is still a bit thick, but nearly right. Look at that. I think it needs just a little bit more liquid. Because I'm going to put dry cranberries in there, I'm not going to risk it being horrible. Be right back. I like that better. That looks to me still a little thick, but it looks right to me. So we need to mix this up. This is going to be messy, people. I need to get this out. Very messy, people. Get this out. Yeah. Yeah, that looks much more like cake mixture to me. Oh, you know what? Maybe it was some of the substitutions that made a difference. Okay, and the last thing we add in is the cranberries. So there we go. They go in. And mix those in. Now, officially, this is meant to cook for an incredibly long time. It said 70 to 80 minutes in a regular oven. I've got a feeling this will only take about half an hour maximum, if that, in my air fryer. So let's see how we go. I don't think I want to put much more than that in, because it's going to come up, right? So what would we do with this? I'm going to stick it into a mason jar and use it another week. Nothing says I have to use it all. So I might keep, freeze the cake and then start using this as mini cakes during the week. So and I'm going to put it in for half an hour, and then we'll see how it's doing. Don't let me forget it, please. Okay, it's going to all go away. All right, so now we'll get on to the thing. All right, so hi Nash. And Nash was saying, I was wondering if cake can be baked in the air fryer. I bought one, and I was thinking of doing such. Wow, MamaSal, great cooking. Okay, so that's what I want to show you, whether it is possible to do. I cook a packaged cake mix in there all the time, no problem at all. But I've never cooked it from scratch, because I don't really do that a lot, but that's why I thought we'd do one from scratch and see what happened. Now we still need those. No, we don't need the yogurt anymore. I'm sort of glad that I put the yogurt in instead of sour cream, quite honestly. What about you guys? I think it'll make a really nice taste because it's vanilla yogurt. Even more vanilla. So now I wanted to talk to you on a couple of things. Pineapples. Depending on where you live, it is now getting into serious pineapple season. Yeah, Google says that cakes can be easily baked in an air fryer. The thing you have to remember, it takes far less time because the size of that oven versus the size of that oven. And that's convection. You know, it's got air going around it all the time, which speeds it up as opposed to the other one. Yeah, I thought so as well. Jody's agreeing with me. The yogurt goes well in there and it'll keep the cake moist as well. I hope so. All right, so now then, experts. Nyasha, you can probably answer this question. How do we tell if this pineapple is ripe? I thought we'd have a talk about that because it is time to buy fresh pineapple. And is it worth buying a fresh pineapple? While I'm waiting for the answers, I'm going to show you what I mean. These are 2 cans, pre-cut, pre-sliced pineapples from Dole. And just to give you an idea, this cost, the pineapple fresh, cost me $5 because it's in season now. And these 2 cans together cost me less, cost me $4.58. So would you say that which one of these 2 has the most pineapple in it? Remembering this still has to be cut, this still has to be sliced, and all the rest of it. So it's a case of you need to decide what your time is worth. Now, there are a number of ways to tell if a pineapple is ready to go. Number 1, smell it, okay? And if it smells sweet, which this actually does, then it's ready to go, even if it's green on the outside. Some of you probably heard the trick, you know, can you pull out one of the leaves? Now, it's a little hard, so it's not 100%. The other thing they say is, does it give a little when you press it? Now, this is pretty hard, so I'm not going to actually open it up yet. It's been standing on my countertop now for, oh, what the heck, let's go for it. No, seriously, let's go for it. And the reason I say that is because it's already been sitting for a week. If we're going to get any more ripe, it would have done so already. So let's just cut the zones out. So we're going to cut the top off it. That looks pretty good to me. Very nice decoration for my table tomorrow. All right, for when I'm doing snacks. So we'll keep that. You imagine the cake around this. What do you think? All right. Okay, what am I saying here? Ganesha's saying, I'm not really an expert on knowing, but Mum normally looks at the base of any fruit. And once it starts to ripen, the base starts to ripen, it's okay. Okay. Yeah, that started to ripen there. All right, now then. You all remember that I've got a pineapple corer. Great fun. It's probably, how many years has it been since I've used it, people? Long time. The old house, right? I think I need a plate. Gonna make a mess. I know it's gonna make a mess. All right, so basically, the idea is to get the center of that into the center of the pineapple, regardless of where the center is. And this one is slightly off, but that's okay. And then what you do is you press down and keep turning. You know, I'm trying to find out just how much pineapple we get out of here. Think of it as good muscle building exercise. I need muscles on both arms. I don't know if I got nearly to the bottom yet. I think I'm at the bottom, people. No. How about that? Okay, we can continue. It definitely is not easy, which makes me think maybe that much was right, and the rest of it maybe isn't too right. So I'm about this far down. Interesting. Let's do it the other way, see what happens. That still feels right. I just am not strong enough to do it. That's what it is. Oh, I hate that. It definitely is okay. I just didn't have the physical strength to do it. But that is all right, because we know where the core is, and we can just cut the rest off. It's beautiful. As you can see, it's cutting beautifully. It's not difficult to cut at all. And very sweet. So what I wanted to show you is don't go by the color. The color is not a true indication. All right, and as you can see, this is soft, juicy, gum. So good. And just to remind us, because Jody was kind enough to do some research on that, the benefits of pineapple. Are you ready? Aids digestion, fresh fruit's always good. Can help cure a cough. I didn't know that. Strengthens the bones, again, really important with me, taking this drug that I'm on. Maintains healthy vision. I need that. By the way, for those of you who were watching Lunchtime, I noticed that my vision was affected when I was under that stress. Speeds up healing. Treats symptoms of arthritis. Doesn't say it cures arthritis, but that's interesting. And boosts your immune system. We like that as well. So Isabel's saying that her pineapple plant didn't make it. That's okay. What did you do? Did you just take the top like this, or did you plant the bottom? I think it's the top that you plant. Am I correct? Mind you, the bottom makes sense somehow. And did you just put it in a pot and keep it moist, or what did you do, Is? Because you know I've got to try that now. And how many of you are taking one look at this and going, smoothies? Yep. So I definitely won't be using these this week, but I will be using that up. So let's put that in a bag. And it looked really nice, you know, when I make the food tomorrow. And these mushy bits I'm going to use in my smoothie, which I haven't had today. So I'm still allowed a smoothie. Yum. Going to be a really nice smoothie. Now, Jody, we put cardamom in this one, right? Ah, interesting. Is it saying I bought it very small, but next time I will put something to hold it upright? Okay. Okay, so we got some juice from that. Good. Where did it even cardamom? Actually, here we go. So I'm going to put some. If you've never tried this spice, all right, I really recommend it. I'm going to put it's like anything else. A little is enough. You don't need a whole lot. So I'm going to put in about that much, half a teaspoon. But it gives it a great taste. And let me see what else I've got. Oh, I've got some lemon water here, which is time to use that up because it's getting cloudy. And I'm going to mix that all up to make a very refreshing drink right now. I'm just going to turn the cake around because in the air fryer, you normally have to rotate everything halfway through. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, you'll be surprised to hear this. It's been in 16 minutes. It's already beginning to pull away from the sides, which normally means it's just about done. And the top is already browning. So isn't that amazing? To do it in a regular oven would take about 90 minutes. And this is going to be done in half an hour, maybe 2 done. I might need to cover it to make sure it doesn't burn. Don't need that. I just made a very nice drink. And that's another thing I really recommend. If you make a lot of smoothies during the day, very healthy for you, you're taking in lots more liquid and fiber, then I just rinse my blade off and then at night I put it in the dishwasher. But it works beautifully for me. You know, just rinse it off well, get all the bits off it, and just let it drip dry. Huh. Right, and the last thing I wanted to discuss with you is my microgreens. How many of you saw I've got a feeling pineapple fiber must be good for you. It tastes that it should be good for you. All right, so you've all seen that I've been making my daily microgreens like this. And the way that I've been making them is I put them in a mason. I put some seeds in a mason jar like this, and I just leave it for a few days in the sun. And then they start to grow. They're starting to grow here, you can see. And then as they get more adults, they get to be where you can see more of the leaves and the stems than of the seed, all right? So this is when they're pretty new. These are only about 3 days old. These are probably, this is where they're more solid. Can you see that? Hang on. Yeah, these are where they're getting more solid. And then once they get a little bit bigger than that, they go into this one. And these are the ones that I will use the next day. Now you can probably see at the top there, there's some slightly different green going on. And that's because last week I showed you what Wade bought me. Which was a microgreen growing kit. Seriously. I put these in Monday, and they are already 3 inches high. I've already had to start harvesting them. Don't know if you can see, I've harvested along here. Now more will come up, but I'm now, the next couple of days, I will harvest this, what's left of the center. And then towards the end of the week, I will clear it all off. And then by then, this lot will have grown up again. However, it's not that they're growing again. It's the ones that were too low for me to cut the first time. Make sense? But what I did some checking on is they will not regrow. In other words, the ones I've already cut will not grow up to be big and strong and become more microgreens, right? They've basically used all their energy and I've cut them off at the prime. Very cruel. However, when I've done the second cutting, I've got a feeling there'll still be some seeds, slow learners, that will start coming up. What do you think? Ones that just, took a bit longer to get an idea it's time to grow up. And those, I was thinking, depending on how many are left, when I've done a cutting or two, I was thinking those I'll put in the garden. I'll use them as seedlings, like they are. Clever or what? And what I also liked was they gave me one with radishes. And so the next one that I've done, and I've got it already working, I did with radishes. What did I do with that? Because I know I brought it out to show you. Come on, Sal. I'm not having a good day of finding the things I brought out to show you, am I? Uh-oh. Need to protect our cake here. It's definitely going to burn if I don't protect it. Might already be done. I had to watch it just a little bit because you have to be careful with foil in an air fryer because it'll start flying around if it's not secured. So here's the thing. It's nearly done. It probably is just about done, but I'm going to let it have the full 30 minutes just to make sure it is, because I don't want to get it wrong. So here's the thing. So these are the radishes that I started to think and to grow. And what I decided was I don't need to grow them all at one time, because definitely that's too much. About a third of this will keep me going for a week. So The next lot I planted about this much only. Does that make sense? Why? Because this is in addition to the other ones that I've got. But what I did notice is, boy, the bags of seeds, right? This is how many radish seeds, and I've already planted another thing. So that's a lot of seeds. So that should keep me going some time. I'm very excited. And I have literally my daily pita. I've been doing cheese and microgreens every day, and I really look forward to it. And every now and then, as you know, because I've talked about it before, I will feel a little bit hungry. I'll feel a little bit hungry, and I will come here like this. Now you can see the broccoli seeds. Those are the darker ones. You can see them, all right? And I'll literally just take a little clutch of it like this. And it's crunchy, as you might hear. It's got a lot of taste. And it's sure a lot better for me than some of the things I would normally eat. And so, good idea. Peppery, a little bit more, I think more mustard cress type taste. Have you ever tasted mustard cress? This is a mix of all sorts of different ones. And by the way, the broccoli ones, let me just take these. Now, these are the broccoli ones. Let me see what the taste is of them alone. Not strong broccoli at all. It is more sort of nutty, and that hasn't even got any seeds in it. It's more a dull dawn. Right, a good question. Sharon is asking me, in all seriousness, as we know Sharon does, are there seeds for Reese's peanut butter eggs? No, but I will tell you one thing, that the Easter Bunny, for some reason, put a couple of tiny little Cadbury cream-filled Easter eggs in my shopping list this week. Wasn't that kind of him? And I must say that freezing the hot cross buns was a great idea. Every other day I thought, hot cross buns, I've still got hot cross. I think I'm done now. But, at least he gave me one day where I wasn't eating them. Yeah, the Easter Bunny is very generous. And, oh, they were so good. They were tiny little things. They were about this big. They came in their own little container and everything. It was so cute. I loved it. So we've got 4 minutes to go. Any input about why would we take all that time to cook a cake when we can open up a packet? Because we wanted the cranberries. But could I have used the cranberries in any other cake mix? That's my question. Could I have used angel cake mix and put cranberries in? Could I have done my much-loved spice cake and put cranberries in? I'm forever hucking raisins in there. What about carrot cake? Could I have hucked some cranberries in there? Absolutely. And so for me, what I'm trying to say to you is that I did it mainly to find out, would an air fryer cook a cake, and would it be bouncy, and would it, even with my cooking it, because I'm not good at these things. The other thing was, what would it look like? And for those of you who are bakers, the answer is absolutely. We've got about 2 minutes to go, I would think. Yeah, we've got 2 minutes to go. Now then, for those of you who are bakers, when I take this cake out, I've got to leave it for a while, right? I've got to leave it in the pan for a while. I'll show you. I just don't want to stop the broadcast before I've shown you what it looks like. Dum, 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 dum. Anybody know? Yes, let it cool. Let it cool in the container. and then turn it upside down? Ah, interesting. Well done, Nasha. Nasha's saying, now that I know cake baking is possible in air fry, I'm going to try it. Okay, so let it cool in the glass, the Pyrex that I cooked it in. And only when it's cool do we turn it over. And Jody, I'm going to do half with just cream cheese, and the other half I will do with that. Oh, let it cool for a while. How long is a while, please, Jody? I find a while a very imperfect time for me. Oh, cool to the touch. Oh, in other words, I can't cool or just warm rather than hot. Yeah, with my asbestos fingers. Cool to whose touch? Baby's touch or Sal's touch? It's going to be very important for me to know. I'm amazed it's already pulled. It had already pulled away from the sides. That really did a bit warm rather than cold. Okay, so not hot, but not cold, lukewarm. Okay, that sounds very good, people. How would you check if it's done? Right, stick something in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it, and I've already put in a probe. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. Okay. Very exciting, people. What do you think? It's hot. Nothing cool about that. Okay, here we go. In the center. Now, I'm going to put it in a little bit longer. Why? I saw a little bit of what came out was still a bit juicy. So, not juicy, but I think another 10 minutes would be good. Actually, I've turned the heat down a bit because really, oh, gummy, wait a minute, here we go. Jody's saying, I once made the mistake of leaving the cake in the pan overnight. It was a nightmare of crumbs when I tried to release it. It fell apart and stuck to the pan. Yep, I'm sure that will happen to me as well. All right, so Sharon says what I got was what she calls gummy. All right, so I've put it back because we need it to be clean when it comes out. It came out with the probe that I put in clean, but when I put a bamboo stick in, it just came out gummy. That's a good word for it, actually. So what I'm going to do is I lowered the heat a bit because we know it's basically cooked. It just needs to cook all the way through. Just the center wasn't quite there. So what I've done is I put it back. I turned the heat back a bit so it doesn't burn, but put it on for another 15 minutes. Now, what I'm thinking is the worst that can happen is the outside will be a bit more crunchy. And if anybody complains about that, let them do that. Yeah, Jody and Sharon are both discussing this, leaving it in too long. Really, Sharon, I didn't know that. Sharon's saying I used to make wedding cakes as a hobby. I know somebody who does it for a business, and I don't know about you, but if ever I want to waste 3 hours, I start watching cake making cake decorating things. Oh, wouldn't that be fun? I've got the things, Wouldn't that be fun on top of my little squares that I'm going to have tomorrow? I might try some of my Russian chips. Who am I kidding? I still might. Maybe I'll do one for myself. So, hope you understand that there were multi reasons why I cooked what I did tonight, right? So Jodie's saying it's so cool. I love decorating cakes for holidays, especially a lamb cake for Easter. Oh, how about that? And Yasha's saying, what temperature did you bake it at? Okay, I did it at 350. Do you do Fahrenheit or centigrade where you are, Yasha? I'm obviously going to have to start baking. Do I need more weight? No. Nyasha, do you use Fahrenheit temperatures or centigrade temperatures where you live? Fahrenheit. Okay, I think it was. No, I won't think. I'll tell you. 180 degrees, which I was 350 Fahrenheit. 350. All right. Now I changed a lot of the things over, which is why it didn't cook in the right time, and I didn't cook it nearly as long. But I changed a lot of things over, and that's why I'm not upset about it. It just is just going to bake a little bit longer. Jodie's saying the Russian chips will be such fun to experiment with when the time is right. And Sharon says, in my oven, I always bake about 5 to 10 degrees lower. Yes, and I knew that cooking it in an air fryer would take a fraction of the time of cooking it in a 30-grade oven, especially as the air fryer, is convection all the time. So that is really important. What sort of air fryer did you get, Nyasha? Do you know? And did you get one with a drawer in it, or did you get one with doors on it, like this one? They're both excellent. A Magnum. I don't know what that is. Yeah, I always wanted to try the Russian chips. I've got them right here at my knees right now. So what I will do is, if I do decide to put some icing on them with those Russian chips, I'll take a couple of pictures for you and remind me for next week. And I will show you what I did. Might do that tonight. No, I'm tired today. Been standing too long. Yeah. I'm not going to do the multicolored ones. It's just, we did do it once, didn't we, Jodie? While we were in lockdown, I did some. Not very well, but I did do some, I remember. So they are fun to use. And I must admit, when you go and a whole flower comes out, you think, how did it do that? That's what I found so fascinating. Where are they? They're right here somewhere. Those are the normal ones. So where are my Russian chips? Oh, well, I'll tell you what I'll do. That might be them. No. What I will do, actually, let's do that. What I will do is I will find them and then play with them next week maybe, so you can see, because you don't actually have to just do frosting with them. I don't know if anybody's tried to do mashed potato with them, but I can always remember my mom used to make, I think they were called Duchess potatoes, where you have mashed potato and you put it through a piping bag and then grill it. It looks so pretty. Yeah, Jodie's saying, I watch videos of people making cupcakes with the Russian tips and their most beautiful flowers. I've got those Russian tips, so I know I can do it. And now I may hate you all tomorrow because I may have to do it tomorrow, even though we're going to be busy. The potatoes are so fancy. You see, that's something maybe I can show you. You're like, you got some mashed potato left over. This is how you can make it look really good. And actually, you know, I've got to make mashed potato tomorrow because I'm going to do some baked ham for them with pineapple. Obviously, this is getting exciting. I will do the potatoes and take a picture. All right. So this is DearMamaSal saying thank you so much for being with me. You're probably wondering what I'm going to have for dinner. And some of you are going, nope, I know what you're going to have for dinner. So we will see you on Sunday when we'll be talking about coping with stress. For those of you who didn't see the lunchtime broadcast, please know that during that broadcast, somebody that I knew probably 12 years ago or more suddenly came into the broadcast. And if ever you want to see a reaction, when I saw the name and it sort of went, huh? And then I went, wait a minute, is that the person of that name? And it took her a while before she confirmed it. And then all hell let loose. And so I just want to tell you, she's coming to visit me a week tomorrow. And it's going to be a lot of crying and a lot of big hugs because she and I have got a lot of history together. And as you can hear, very emotional history. And so the fact that she came into the broadcast, and funny enough, came in because she needed some help. It was very special, wasn't it? So just so that you know that. So anyway, I will definitely let you know how it goes, and I'm certain it'll be just a magical experience for me. And just as Jody so rightly said, I knew I needed help in the coming weeks, and I magically manifested it without even meaning to. I wasn't pushing for that at all, and then out of the blue, if you believe in that stuff, if you believe in coincidences, there it was. So we love you too, Nyasha. Thank you so much. Have fun with your air fryer. I hope you've been enjoying the French fries. And isn't it amazing? Do you put them in a plastic bag and just spritz some oil in there? How do you do them? I love that most of all, actually. You know, when I feel I would like some French fries, I don't feel guilty anymore. I literally cut them up, throw them in a plastic bag, spritz with some oil, shake it all, and some Montreal steak spice, shake it all up, put it in the air fryer. And mayo is very good for you. And then I dunk them in mayo. And I know that really it's not the end of the world. So there we go. I hope you enjoy yours. Anyway, Nasha. All right, everybody. We'll see you on Sunday. This is DearMamaSal saying thank you, Jody, for helping us, and for all of you for being here. It's always a pleasure to see you. And look after yourselves. You're worth looking after, in my view. I'm going to have cake for dinner. I can do that, as long as it's cool. Bye for now. Thanks, Jody.